Quad 66. I'm always finding new ways, new and creative ways to break quads, and in this case, the way that I found a way to break a quad was with filtering. So I've been liking these 2.5-inch builds. So this is 2S build with 1103 motors, Gen Fan 2512 props, and I have a tune here that's pretty like sort of my starting point for this size, where I have basically pretty even P and D and a pretty high D, kind of in the 50s, trying to push the feed forward as high as I can go without it getting squirrely. And so this is generally not too bad, but so what I was doing is going into the filters and see what I could do here. See what I could do with the filters to see if I could get the performance even a little better. So what I was doing is working the filters down, and I had them work down to 2, and also had turned off this the second gyro low pass filter, and it flew pretty well. But when I was looking at the black box logs, I was seeing something that sometimes you see. And so if you're not used to looking at black box logs, let's go. This is the actual data here. So it has the streams of information coming into it in terms of your P, your I, and your D, and then tells you where your gyro is, and it tells you where your set point is, and then you can go through and see how well the gyro is tracking the set point. The other thing you can do too is look at your noise and adjust your filters. So let me actually start off with showing you the gyro scaled. So going to the actual change to the raw noise. Basically you can kind of see the motor noise in here, and nothing too horrible. And what happens though is there's the maximum motor noise somewhere around 200 Hertz, and that bleeds into your D term a little bit. So this is D term on roll, and you can see max motor noise about 193, and you can see it bleeding in here. And when we go to the scatter plot here, that leads to this bright band that you're seeing here. In general, on this plot here, we want less red, and when we start seeing white, that's maybe a little bit problematic. But motors weren't really getting hot, and I was doing this mainly to see what's possible. And so I thought, well, there's kind of a bright band here, and it's also true that it's on not just the roll, but also the pitch. You can see the bright band is there too. And Betaflight, or the black box reviewer, kind of tells us that our max motor noise is hanging out somewhere around here, 180, 190. And so I figured, okay, well, let me try something different in terms of the filtering. Let me try to put a notch filter on it. And I tried this both with putting a D-term notch filter and also a gyro notch filter. And the way I set it is I put in 185 for the center, and then I put 15 for the cutoff, so that way the notch is supposed to go from, so it goes 15 on either side of 185. So that's from 170 up to 200. And am I doing the math right? Yes. And so that should put in notch filters. What they're supposed to do is they're supposed to really hack out the noise from a very kind of small region. And so that's what I tried to do, and it may have worked, but I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because I got this oscillation off of it. So you can see our PID's just going nuts here, and the PID error, and so basically it just kind of gets into this oscillation, and you can see it's basically throughout the trace. So when I'm going through the whole flight, it just basically gets set off, and everywhere. And that was both if I put it on the gyro, so that's the notch on the gyro, and that's the D-term notch on so the notch on the D-term, we see it, we get the same thing, we get these oscillations in both cases. So any type of oscillation, so it's a feedback loop, clearly it's doing something to disturb it, but I'm just curious. I don't fully understand why taking out the noise from one place is actually going to trigger these oscillations. So as I said, so I'm going to put this up. I'm going to ask this question. I'm asking it to you to see what insights you have, and then I'm also going to throw it up on the Betaflight black box review, see what thoughts they have, and then I guess I'll circle back with the answer if I get one, and go from there. All right, quick video. Until next time, cheers.